my experience, I like foreign cars. I like Toyotas, Hondas, and Nissans. We buy domestics, but I make it a point to buy as few as I possibly can. If I could fill my lot up with cars, I would fill it with Nissans, Toyotas, and so on and so forth. They tend to last longer, and now they're a little more expensive to work on, but they're going to give you a lot better service than our domestic, sadly to say. If I'm looking at a domestic and it's got 180,000 miles, I'm not going to buy it. But if I look at a Honda that's got 180,000 miles, I'll look at it, and if indeed it's a good car that I can put out there and sell to someone in good faith, then that's what I mean. Yeah, because those Hondas, Toyotas, Nissans, they'll last. You know, I'll give you an example. My sister Kay lives in Los Angeles. They buy Avalons, and they put 500,000 miles on them, and then they trade them.
Wow,
500,000 miles on an Avalon. I'm just partial to imports. I mean, I know I've got them out on notes. They will carry a note a lot better than any domestic. And when I look at the repairs on those cars, I repair imports a lot less than I do domestic. So, I mean, I've got a pretty good feel of what I want to buy, or to what extent do I want to go to when I see a high mile. Once again, on trucks, it just depends on the truck. If it's a diesel, I don't care about the miles. Ford has that power stroke that'll go 500,000 miles with no problem whatsoever. So it just all depends on what you look at. Will the miles come into consideration? Okay. Anybody else? But if you go like to a new car store, or a used car lot, I think for $5,000 you're going to get a pretty good car. You ought to be able to get a pretty good car. $5,000 and $6,000 will get you a pretty dependable and reliable automobile. Year models anywhere between 2000 to an 05, 06 maybe even. Yeah, it just all depends. You can buy domestics cheaper than you can imports. For $6,000 you can buy a great domestic. For $6,000 you can buy a pretty good import. Does that make sense? Imports are just better cars. They bring more money. They're more expensive, and so on and so forth.
How about mileage on imports versus domestic?
You know, mileage is an interesting subject because I have bought cars with low miles, and yet people have run them to the ground. I have bought cars with a lot of miles that someone has ultimately taken care of that automobile, and it is, you know, I don't mind selling a 180,000 mile Honda Accord. I don't mind doing that. In fact, I buy them myself, and I can put them out on notes. We do our own financing, so we don't mind putting 170,000, 180,000 mile import out to ultimately run for the next 2 or 3 years. Yeah, domestics, I don't know. That's just all depends on the automobile.